So much of the genius of Nobuo Uematsu's Final Fantasy soundtracks comes from the insane complexity. I mean, so far we've talked about One Winged Angel in Final Fantasy VII and how it was just an absolute chaotic combination of so many different influences, and then back to Final Fantasy VI where he wrote an 18-minute, 4-movement symphony for the organ. But what happens when he writes a piece that wasn't even really intended to be in the game? What happens when he writes a piece that becomes so accessible by people like you and I that it becomes the entire franchise's most beloved theme? Let's take a listen. So many beautiful things happening right there. And one of the biggest differences between this and so many of the other great icons from Final Fantasy soundtracks is its simplicity. First of all, we're dealing with just the piano, nothing else. What does that immediately mean for us? It's something that we can so easily go, oh, it's a piano piece. Well, I want to learn that. So incredibly simple. And I think one of the things that's so compelling about this piece is just how harmonically beautiful it is. Without even going to places that are super complex or out there. It uses such simple chords, but it does it in a way that keeps you drawn in the whole time. Let's take a look at what's happening there. This whole thing is gonna be in the key of E minor. And immediately we drop down to a C major chord before going to D major to B minor. It's basically the same root motion, but down a half step. And instead of going from a minor chord to a major chord, we now go from a major chord to a minor chord. Now, what's interesting about these chords is that they are the chords that we would find in the E natural minor scale. If we only used the notes of E natural minor, that's these notes here, okay, we would build out triads with those notes and we'd find E minor, we would find F sharp diminished, we'd find G major, we'd find A minor, we'd find B minor, C major, D major, and that brings us back to E minor. So when we see these chords that we're using, they're just the naturally occurring chords in the E natural minor scale. D major, B minor. That's such a beautiful phrasing there, because our melody, our chord is C major, but our melody is the major 7th, so that gives us this beautiful tone, which is interesting, right? Because a C and a B shouldn't really go well together, but context is everything, right? So I love the use of the F sharp there, because what it does is it turns this whole chord into a C major 7 with a sharp 11. It's such a beautiful chord. Hey, don't forget to check out my Better Piano System. I don't take sponsors on this channel, and that's because I wanted to build something for you that might actually be useful, instead of me sitting here using these few seconds to talk about a company that neither of us care about. I want to give you all of the skills that I use to make these videos, the skills I use on the piano, my knowledge of music and music theory. I've crammed all of that into one comprehensive program designed to take you from, even if you've never played before, to take you from the beginning all the way to having a skill set that you can use to learn how to play anything you want to on the piano. And we're going to do it in a way that I feel like I've always been frustrated with the way that the piano is taught. I wanted to fix that with the Better Piano System. And how we do it is you're going to play beautiful music first before you ever think about sheet music or music theory or anything like that. It's a while into the course before we even start to tackle any of that stuff, because I want it to come up naturally as we go in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. And my biggest goal is to get you playing beautiful music as fast as possible right in the very beginning. In fact, the first lesson, you're going to have your hands on the keys. You're going to be making harmony. You're going to be making beautiful sound, even if you never thought you could. So if you are finally ready to take your piano skills and your music understanding to the next level, then be sure to use the link in the description and check out the Better Piano System. It is the best way that you can support the channel. It's how I support the work here that I do on YouTube, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So thank you so much for your support. Let's jump back into this. Here's another crazy thing. Oh man, this is why To Zanarkand is such an incredible theme, because we can literally just take those notes we talked about before and we can build so many incredibly beautiful things with them, right? We have E natural minor, but we also have C Lydian. Same notes, just a different root note. C Lydian is essentially the C major scale, but with a raised fourth. And that's where we get that beautiful, that C major 7 sharp 11 sound. Oh, right? And so we get that here. Before going back to B minor. Now here, we make a small change. We use the C sharp. Why do we use that? So that we can make that B minor, that add 9 sound, which is so beautiful. Such a beautiful sound, okay? So then we go that's an interesting addition that leads us to really what is sort of the beginning of the melody. This is all still kind of in the intro, right? So the melody comes in and we're back in E minor. But check out how we got there though, because we used this A minor. And this is, to me, this is one of the most interesting chords of the entire theme. F major 7. Now, we established that in E natural minor, there is no F, it's F sharp. So the usage of F major is interesting. And then we just drop right back into E minor. So it's a half step from F major into E minor. That's an interesting motion. But now we're into the stunningly beautiful melody of To Zanarkand. That is such a beautiful melody. And again, I feel like the reason this is one of the most beloved themes in the entire series is because of the unbelievable simplicity, yet the way it sticks with you. You are still emotionally attached to this. No matter how many years later, you hear this and it triggers something deep inside you that just is like, oh, this is so, so beautiful. As with all great melodies, they are incredibly easy to sing and hum and remember. We just have then it basically repeats with a slight alteration. Call and response. Absolutely perfect example of call and response. And now, oh, we already heard that before. We know that part. But then we get our final. And I love how the harmony moves on that. Very simple. E minor, C major, D major. We get a resolution to G major, which is the relative major of E minor. Remember how we said that E natural minor has this key signature? Well, G major, just take those bottom two notes and put them up top. It's the exact same notes, exact same key signature. Same notes, we have all white keys except for an F sharp. So because of that, everything we play here we can really just play with that same palette of sound. Gives us so much room to grow and to work. But the way that it's voiced in the official arrangement is, of course, with these beautiful sweeping arpeggios. It's basically just a very simple way to take the chord, break it up. There you go. If you ever wondered how to take the chords that you see with some of your favorite songs and go, well, what do I do with this? That's what you do. You take it and just break it apart. And it becomes beautiful. I love this C major chord here because it tells us something that we're not really expecting. We kind of expect to go... That's what we're expecting to hear, but we don't hear that. We go... That tells us, hey, we're not quite done. But the way Nobuo Uematsu takes this and runs with it, I think this is one of the most interesting parts of the entire composition because where we go from here is incredibly interesting. Check that out. What a beautiful bridge, I guess, right? Because here we've been establishing this very standard E minor to G major harmony, right? And then we take it somewhere completely different. We go to A minor to F major, which, remember from the intro, that was sort of the thing that we thought was interesting, using that F major, which doesn't exist in that E natural minor scale that we've been using for almost the entire piece. So it feels like we're changing key here, right? Don't we expect a C major there? But we don't get a C major there. We get an E minor there. To a B minor, F sharp minor, A minor again, to a B sus, B major. What an interesting transition that is. Just listen to those chords. Whoa, how beautiful is that? Now it sounds like we're doing the same thing in a totally new key. What? Oh, man. And now the whole thing turns around and goes back to the top again, right? So we've just introduced this incredibly gorgeous section that has all kinds of key changes that we weren't really expecting, and now we just keep that right on going, because after our B sus to B major sound, now we're gonna flip that major to minor, and it sounds like we're going to a totally new key, and we kind of are. That chord change might be my favorite of the entire piece. It might be my absolute favorite. C sharp minor to G major. a tritone away. And can you tell me honestly that that doesn't sound incredibly beautiful? There's nothing disturbingly dissonant about that at all. It fits so beautifully. F sharp minor, C sharp minor, to G major. To F sharp minor again before landing on B major of all places. Now, why does that weirdly make sense, even though it feels a little bit sudden in this particular context? Because this is the 5, going back to the beginning. We were in E minor, so E minor, the 5 of E minor is B major, B dominant, to get back to E minor. So the fact that it ends on that B major chord just works. Because if you're gonna throw a repeat on it and let it cycle around, what a better way to do it than to just throw the 5 in front of where you're going. But man, I mean, that whole second section that leads up to that B minor, to me, is just so incredibly beautiful, because we're almost not expecting any of it. Again, we go to A minor, F major, G major, E minor, B minor, F sharp minor, back to A minor, and then a 5 chord. Think we're gonna go back to E minor? Nope, you'd be mistaken. We're just gonna make that minor. G major, A major, F sharp minor, C sharp minor, drop a tritone to the G major. Oh, man, and then finally we get one more F sharp minor. I think the other reason that sounds so out of place too is because coming to the B major from an F sharp minor is such an interesting motion. And that brings us back to the top of the melody once again. This is just such an incredibly beautiful piece, and the fact that it's really at its core so simple, and it's really, from a piano perspective, it's not that difficult to play. Again, check out the Better Piano System if you want to get your skills up, and you'll be able to tackle something like this in no time. But the whole reason that it just has become one of the most beloved pieces is it's catchy, it's memorable, it's beautiful, and it's accessible. This is something that this does that almost no other crazy iconic Final Fantasy theme does. It is totally accessible. That's why people play it on their piano recitals. People are playing it at their weddings, all kinds of incredible things, because Uematsu wrote a piece that we can all sit down and feel like we can play. It's one of the most beautiful, and it's one of the most beloved, but of course I want to know from you if this is one of your favorites too. So let me know in the comments down below. And again, check out the Better Piano System if you want to start building up your skills to be able to tackle something like this. Maybe in the future, I'll add a full walkthrough. This feels like something I should work on. That's a section that I have in the Better Piano System. We're doing full piece walkthroughs. I'm going to be adding a ton more very soon. Maybe this will be one of them. Anyways, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. In the next and last episode of this Final Fantasy series, we're going to dive into how one musical question was answered over a decade later. Stay tuned for that on Monday.